Hello. So I'm on my break. About to go back in, but I've been noticing a pattern. A pattern that they keep sending dudes to me. See, um, one, celibate, thank God. Two, I have jungle fever, so attracted to one kind of type. And they send me the opposite type, but I flirt because I just like to flirt, But I noticed that they in the program are starting to try to send out dudes. It's always dudes that I don't like. I was in a relationship, my baby mama, some shit, some sort of drama going on. They've been doing a lot of craziness. Just trying to make it hard. One girl I follow, her name is Journey. She was workplace mobbed out of her job, and she was working. Now she's doing something else, but it's like it seems like they're trying to do that to her. It's the same thing to another targeted individual. Her name is Candy. Workplace mobbed her. Now she's off. Then there's me. What they did to me was my truck was having issues, and I needed a mechanic, but they always kind of did something. One mechanic would charge me too much. One mechanic would charge me a good price, but he just doesn't show up. Then another mechanic just didn't answer his phone when I was willing to pay the price. So yeah, I ended up fixing everything myself, along with the help of some guys who were nice. They are gang stalkers, but at least they helped me fix the problem. I don't know. There's tactics. It's a lot of different tactics. I've been looking at them, you know what I mean? I'm trying to put together something so I could kind of show you guys with their little signals. These people are out in the open. The thing is because you kind of don't know what this is, you'll see people doing certain hand signals in public and you're just thinking, well, it's just this. But it's like seeing somebody speaking sign language in public. It's sign language. So people should be aware of what, who is who. You see a church member doing these symbols, you know that they're one of them. You see a fucking store member, you see your mom, any person you see, okay, this is what they're doing. So I be, looking at them, at their little gestures and stupid shit. I'm gonna, let y'all know, I don't know what's what. But I don't know. Just trying to figure out the whole, you know what I mean? And then a lot of targeted individuals kind of hopped on to this thing that we're trying to see, Number one, not getting upset because they want you to get upset. They want you to get riled up or have anxiety or something, so don't do it. I know you want to do it because it's our human nature, but don't do it because we are, as a collective, there's them and then there's us. So we as us, as a collective, are trying to see what happened. If this is some sort of energy-based something, if all of our energies are powered down, let's see what happened. Also, the phone is a very big thing. On your microphone, on your camera, they know everything you do. And I tested it out today. So today I usually turn my phone off every day. But today I didn't do that. In the morning when I get ready for work. And this morning I decided to shave. And when I was at work today, one of the calls was shave something. Which I've been working there for a long time. We have a lot of companies. But it's they be sending certain leads to me, you know what I mean? To let me know, bitch, we know what you're doing, bitch, you know what I mean? They be doing little stupid shit like that. But today, it's because I left the camera on, I want to know what they know. Because, bitch, if you know what I mean? If you could, because they be trying to trick people into thinking they have some power, but they don't have power. Everything is all electronic based. They cannot read your fucking mind. They can predict. When you go to Google and you type in something, Google can predict what you're going to type based off what everybody else type. It's the same thing that they do. You understand what I'm saying? So they're just predicting your shit. They can't read no fucking minds. They might have a little technology to do the voice to skull. The voice to skull is a recording over and over and over and over, which is what I noticed as well. When the Holy Spirit was trying to kind of like get me to understand what was going on, he kept saying, when you hear the voice in your head, really listen to it. Listen to the accent, listen to how it talks, you know, and listen to what it says. And I really did listen. And they, like, okay, I went to like a laundromat. There was nothing but Spanish people there, right? And there was like a voice kept playing, and the voice kept saying, oh my God, she's so stank, she's so stank. But all the voices that said it were like ghetto, ratchet, you know, kind of like voices of a woman. But there was nobody like that around. So that's obvious voice to skull technology being used. So when they do the voice to skull technology, it's like a recorded voice that they send. They don't have no real fucking power. Like, you know what I mean? There's no mysticism. It's all technology based shit. So I'm figuring this shit out, everything, as best as I can, and you know, tell you TIs. Like I said, some TIs are out there and they tell you they beat the program, but they ain't telling you how they did it, and they tell you all this and that and that. I ain't beat nothing. I'm still here, obviously homeless. But, you know, it's good to know what the fuck is going on and know what the hell is real. It's all about fear. They just give you a whole bunch of shit that they think would scare you. Yeah, it will definitely scare anybody that someone could read their thoughts. So yeah, but they cannot read your thoughts. When it comes to your dream manipulation, they could do that, because the same way they do voice to skull, they could send kind of like waves like that in your dream. In real life, if you play music and you go to sleep, you're gonna hear it through your dream. Or if you leave the TV on and the commercial comes on, you're gonna hear it through your dream. And that's how the dream manipulation works. When you go to sleep, they just do the same thing with voice to skull, but it just plays out in your dream. So that's how they kind of like do that dream manipulation shit. You know, I'm literally just, you know what I mean? I'm not just, you can't just run forever. You can't just, you know what I mean, be panicking and scared and shit. Like, we know we're being watched, but why are we not watching to really look to see what the fuck is going on, you know? We're not doing that. We're missing the mark when it comes to being a targeted individual. But anyways, you guys have a good day. Maybe talk to you later. Who knows? I'm back, bitches. I got a joint. I never smoke on the screen, but YouTube don't bitch about that. I don't care. So, my day was over. No more gang stalking day. Trying to keep the energies, you know, all that kind of weird shit. These gang stalkers are weird. I tell you, they've been trying to send fucking people around my way and shit like that. But my boss is total fucking, I don't know. Something about him is just, you know what I mean? Something is not right. I know it, especially if he's a fucking gang stalker. This nigga like fucking watching bitches. That nigga definitely be watching porn. Why does that nigga watch porn? With that shut over doubt. This dude love eye candy, he say. And he sure do love to look. Then this nigga, I just noticed something today, because I wanted to see. Every time, like when you wear certain kind of like shit, this nigga put the AC cold. And like, I don't know if you expect your nipples to kind of like come through your bra, or like if you like seeing goosebumps on bitches' legs or some shit. I don't know, but like, this guy's been doing that a lot, you know what I mean? Then that little thing, I'll tell you, when you do the little flirty thing, motherfucker pimp. And you just you know, the girl who's so, you know, with the little voice, you know, with the little cute voice, singing a little bullshit, playing with that other hoe. Bitch, I been through the game. You feel me? I know the game. I know what he's doing, but you know, I'm playing. Bitch, I love to flirt. Yeah, bigger flirt on planet Earth. And that rhyme, bitch. No Dr. Seuss. Ain't no bigger flirt on planet Earth. Ain't no bigger flirt on planet Earth. I just want to tell your ass for what it's worth. Oh, bitch came up on the spot. But yeah, my boss, he's cool, but the little subtleties, like walking. This nigga literally came to reprimand me today, and he thought I was gonna just like have my legs just like out. Bitch, it's cold as fuck. What the fuck you think? So bitch, I put my sweater on my leg, and he came over there expecting to reprimand me, and my legs just like all showing. Like bitch, it wasn't. And he was like, talking, but he kept trying to look down, and I was like, look how you are, bitch, my legs covered. It's fucking funny. Then we walked past each other. It was such an awkward walk past, trying not to look at, me trying not to look at him, looking at me. No sexual harassing my ass, bitch. Assholes. Then, I don't know. Trying to figure out a plan. The RV, I had to let it go because I don't know. I have a weird, I don't know. I probably could have got way more out of this guy if I wanted to. Maybe I could have had the RV just totally fixed. He paid for everything. But the thing is, like I said, knowing that he's a gang stalker, like he had this one time that he fucking, sent me this message. We were kind of talking because he was like, he want to take me on a date. I said, okay, no problem. This nigga said, he said something like, I'm a freak, but I just never really pulled that trigger. Try those things. It's like, of all the words, if I was a gun enthusiast, like a bitch that's weird like that like guns and shit, like I definitely would kind of been like, oh my god. But like, being a target individual, like I feel like, you know what I mean, that's what they do. These guys like to say stupid little threats. I will kill you, you're gonna die, stupid shit like that. Even my boss said it a few times. He came to my desk one day, tells me, oh, you quiet over here, I had to come over here and see if you ain't dead. I was like, bitch, you thought you ate? Came back to play, bitch. But yeah, they've been doing this whole thing because, like I said, it's the same pattern every single time. And for me, in this pattern, this played so many times, but the only thing is every time I let a guy save me. I always let a guy save me. First time was my first husband, and I got kicked out the house with my aunt, and I was staying at my friend's house working at a restaurant job, and then I met my ex, who was a definite gang stalker. And that's how we met like that. But it was always in a bad situation. I never just met a dude, and I mean, it was like, we could take our time. Like it was always like a rush to make the sale, a rush to close the sale. And me and my first was married after 3 months. Okay, after 7 years divorce, then I met the last one, and I was a hooker because I had a good job. My friend was being gang stalked, but I didn't know that at the time. And I helped her. And anytime, and I do mean any fucking time, you have a targeted individual and they go to someone for help, even if the person is a gang stalker themselves, whatever the case is, they still gonna get them. So, like I said, I'm not in the program, but I wasn't like a gang stalker, but I don't know. When I helped my friend who was being gang stalked, I was gang stalked, and I was like workplace mobbed, and I was fired. And I became a hooker because I need to pay my rent. And right on the same street I was on happens to be the street that you could be a hooker on. It's a long strip. So I did it. And then I eventually found a little part-time job, which for some reason I can't find it anywhere. It was a staffing company for like events and shit. It's, right now it'd be a very good, job, but I don't know why I can't find it. Then what happened? So I became a hooker, and they when they gang stalk, they always make kind of like theater, like make people make problems with you for no reason. There was this crackhead guy and his girlfriend. And the girlfriend was a hooker, the guy was a crackhead, her pimp or whatever. And they was hanging out in front of my place. And I would get like Johns, and they would be white, but they were all gang stalkers. Literally, like I fucked guys from fucking Amazon, UPS, fucking FedEx, fucking everybody. I don't even know, you know what I mean? I don't even know. I fucked so many people. Another thing to brag about. But I'm just saying that when I was doing it, that all my Johns were fucking gang stalkers, and I didn't know it. And then one of the Johns happened to be the one that was my ex-husband, because they all had the same job to close the deal. But for me, when I was with the guy was like very, very forward, and he was very pushy, like, you gotta make the sale, gotta make the sale. So I kind of was like, okay, this guy seems like he's okay, you know? Because I was not gonna choose him, to be honest with you. There was a guy, I don't know, I have a thing for accents, and there was this guy from, I don't know, Scotland or London, and he drove for Amazon, and, you know, I don't know, I got a vibe from him, like, he kind of liked me, because we were talking, you know, chill. So I kind of liked him, plus I liked his sex. But, you know, the other guy kind of offered a better deal. So I was like, he's like, look, I know you're a hooker, I don't want you to be a hooker no more, bitch, I'm gonna pay for everything. All you gotta do is stay home and be pretty and don't cheat on me. I was like, bitch, bet. I ain't gonna cheat. And it was like that, just like he said, for a little bit. But the thing is that the guy's a sexual deviant, and obviously you know how that turned out, because here I am. But the whole point is, with this whole gang stalking bullshit, they be having, like, I had been gang stalked for so long that I was fucking the Johns that were gang stalkers, but I didn't know it. But it was always in a fucked up situation. That's the pattern. You know, that's the thing. You have to look at your pattern. That's how you beat this game. It's the same game over and over and over, but it's the same kind of like scenario. There's a beginning, middle, end. In the beginning, they give you the problem. In the middle, you know, they kind of give you like a hope. And in the end, they send a fucking hero for me. Everybody's simulation is different. You know, like I said, for me, they try to dictate everything. You know, they're trying to force me to be okay with shit that is not okay. Like I said, for everybody, we all have a reason we are being gang stalked. We all disobeyed the rules, the unwritten rules of this bullshit ass world and society. That's the truth. Because like I said, I've been watching different TI's videos. You should do it too. Because maybe I'm, you know, just bullshitting you. But like I said, this target individual shit, motherfuckers just be, you know, just recording stuff. Yeah, we got proof and shit, but like, why aren't we putting together to figure out? But to be honest with you, the videos is good, because every time y'all put out a video, another targeted individual can kind of might notice a different pattern. You'd be like, hey, they do that shit to me too. Or hey, I know what this means. Or, you know what I mean? So it's a blessing in a way. It's a good thing that we do document, but also we need to, you know, really be watching what's going on. Think back to the patterns in your life. You know, you have a friend, the friend fucks your man, and this happens. Has that happened like 5 times in a row? That's a pattern. That means that these people purposely been doing this to you. You know, for me, like I said, for my patterns, it's always been for a guy to rescue me. They control the men that you go with. That's the truth. That's like, they control so many things. They want to control even who you fucking go with. You understand what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't know. Something about them is weird. I mean, I met some that were gorgeous. You don't know gorgeous. These gang stalkers. I mean, one guy was a contractor. He had gorgeous blue eyes and fucking beautiful teeth. And they weren't Lumineers, they were his teeth. But something was weird. His smile, you know? I mean, I don't know. It was this weird gang stalker smile, which I didn't know it was a gang stalker smile back then, but it was like sinister. But they sent me so many guys, and all of them were exactly what I asked for. But it's like they all were overly sexual. And the ones that were not overly sexual, those were the ones that kind of like were picked out, you know? I mean, they've been doing this to me for so long, you don't even understand. Like I said, I dated a lot of guys. And before I met my ex, in the middle, like I said, there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end. In the middle of the last time that they did this to me, the beginning was me divorcing my ex-husband because he was a fucking closeted queer. And he fucked my fucking gay best friend while I was in the house sleeping. And they tried to get me drunk and high so I wouldn't wake. And God, I have to try to remember what I was gonna say. Fuck. Okay. So after I left the guy, I was staying with my cousin, and she was a gang stalker too. You know those gang stalkers love those rental trucks, those budget trucks, those budget trucks, and you know those enterprise cars and shit like that. And my cousin was, I had, this is how the story, like I said, it's a pattern. It's literally a pattern. And, here's the first time what happened. Okay, so like I said, the first time was I was living with my aunt. I was 18 years old. That's the first time this pattern showed up that I know of. My aunt and me, for some reason, was not getting along. And like, for little shit, my aunt was snapping on me for it. When I say little shit, like literally little shit. And I felt like, you know what? I'm finna just leave because I don't want to, get into no confrontation. So I'm just gonna dip. So my best friend at the time lived down the street. So I was staying at her house and I was working at IHOP as a server. That was my first job. And when I was working there, same thing happened. I was trying to be courted. I was 18 years old and I liked white men. And the very first man that I kind of had the chance to talk to happened to be a gang stalker. He was a contracted painter. And I don't remember his name. I think it was Tom or some shit. And I had kept talking to him. I started talking to him like, I think when I was 17. Just talking over the phone. We met over a chat line and he lived like a little bit further up in Florida. And I had, went to Bahamas for vacation for 3 months and I kept in contact with him. When I came back, I was working at server and I was like, listen, I'm making money. I could go up there, we could chill. You feel me? This guy was older than me. He was 40 and I was 18 years old. And, I don't know what happened, but I felt like they was like, we don't want you to be with this girl. So he just made kind of like any excuse and it was like, okay, we just didn't talk anymore. So then like I said, I have a type. I have always liked Caucasian men or maybe Latin men because I don't know, I just do, Everybody like what they like, but that's just my preference. My first was not that, of course, he was a black man and no shade to black man, but he was a black man, just, and I was working there and me and my best friend was having it out and here's how the gang stalking shit worked. Me and my friend was both there, and it's almost like it was like the way they do it. It's like they plan probability of who's gonna do what, because the table that I had was my best friend's table, but she was super busy, and the guy that walked in, he wanted to be seated and eat right away. And I sat him down for my friend, but my friend was so busy that she just left him there. So I just was giving him drinks and stuff. And I was like, listen, I'm just going to take the table from your hands because you're so busy. She said, yo, thank you so much. And, me and the guy hit it off. And next thing you know, we're going on dates and shit. But during the job kind of like, it teared me and my friend apart. But there was workplace mobbing even at the job too. And my best friend felt like, she had this animosity towards me because she felt like she should have been the one to, meet the guy. And it would have been her who married him. And that is the truth, because that is how the gang stalking game works. You see, it could have been either one of us, but it was about probability. The chances of. He would have definitely went with my best friend. But the problem was she was just busy that night. But if she would have been on her money, she would have definitely, probably hooked up with him and it, been whatever. But I hooked up with the guy. We got married. We got divorced because I told you he was a fucking closeted queer and all types of other shit and a gang stalker. Definite narcissist. And that's the first time the pattern appeared. So that's the second time. So the first time was when I was 18 years old working as a server, and then they send me the hero to save me. Second time, I divorced the guy. And they do the same, they do the first time. I have to go to the justice system, they rob me. I had, my cousin gave me a deposit to put on a house to rent it. Me and my ex were staying together.
This guy went to the courthouse because he's a gang stalker. He works for the county. He works as supervisor relations. And his boss knows the sheriffs and the judges because that's how this thing works. And he happened to drive a white Malibu of all the colors. And he was gang stalking me because one day after we divorced, I was riding the bus and I saw him riding very slow and staring at me. And then he turned the corner. But I turned my head and acted like I didn't see him. And I didn't know it was gang stalking. I know he was stalking me, but I didn't know he was gang stalking me. And coincidentally, the bus was late that night. Like the bus was delayed on purpose in order for that interaction to happen. But that was a little bit further down. So me and this dude divorced. My cousin called me up out of nowhere. Before that happened, this girl who's Chrissy, she's a gang stalker too. Chrissy, my ex kicked me out the house. He went to the courthouse. Like I said, he worked for the county, so that's how that shit worked with them. They didn't. I didn't show up to court. I didn't have nothing. This man just showed up at my job with the sheriff, took the keys to the house from me, and kicked me out. And I had nowhere to stay. And I don't have family in Palm Beach, and he knew that. Then he tried to control me. That's the first pattern. The first time this pattern showed up, or maybe it's the second time, but I just didn't notice it first. He tried to control me. He said I could stay in the house if I don't be violent towards him. He could just do anything he wants. He could, whatever, get up in my face, but I can't do anything to defend myself. And if I do, he could just call the police on me because I'm not supposed to be there anyway. I get arrested. Plus, this nigga, we married, and this nigga literally fucking the girl that lived directly across the street. And I found this whole panty in my motherfucking laundry. And that same week is when everything happened, because I whooped his motherfucking ass. And I don't give a fuck. And bitch is happy about it. But when that happened, Chrissy heard me crying in the bathroom right after the sheriff took the keys from me to give to him. And he had my cousin call me and say, oh, you can stay in the house with him, but da-da-da-da. I said, hell nah, I'm going to find a way, because I was working. The girl, Chrissy, was my coworker. She said, I'll give you, you can be my roommate, whatever. So I stayed with her for 1 day, 2 straight. After 2 days, bitch, I was tired of this hoe, because this hoe was definitely a gang stalker. I can't even get into it how she was a gang stalker, but she was definitely a gang stalker. And after 3 days, I eventually went to this motel, which is the one that I got kicked out of, coincidentally. But the first time I went there, I stayed there for 1 night. And my cousin just hit me up. She said, hey, me and my man, we just got, some money. And we looking for a place. Can you help us? I said, yeah, come up in Palm Beach. They be having cheap ass places here. And just like I told them, there was a cheap ass place. And they let us move in the same night. And give the deposit was supposed to be $1,500, and we was able to pay $900, and then the rest later. And everything was okay, but then like I said, they was gang stalking me, and this guy told me, and sorry, this is actually. There's a time before this, but I can't even tell the story. But like I said, there's patterns. The pattern that I noticed, even before this, I had took a break from my ex, and I was, trying to kind of date other guys. I happened to date a trooper, which was a gang stalker. And I dated a lot of guys, and they were most likely all gang stalkers. Like I said, because they control everything. They control who you're allowed to date and mate with. And even if you could choose, they still gonna be a pagan and closeted queer, possible fucking pedophile. Ain't there no shit to the queers. You wanna be queer, live your life. But these motherfuckers ain't living their life. They hide in the closet. They out here with wife and fucking kids pretending, and then at night they be out here in the streets. That shit ain't right, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? So, the second time, I gotta go back. The second time, I took a break from my ex, and they had me date a bunch of gang stalkers. I had lost a lot of weight, and I looked very beautiful, and they literally they murdered my fucking self-esteem, because at the time, I did not know what was going on. And I would date these guys, all these guys, they were very nice guys that I really liked, and they would make the guy kind of let me down. One guy, I remember I was supposed to go to this Key West trip with him. And they do that a lot. Even this time they did it. I was supposed to go to Key West with the guy, and all of a sudden the day of, the guy just last minute ditched on me. And I was like, that kind of hurt my self-esteem, and they like kind of like just kept doing it. Like a few weeks after that, and before that, I met a guy from the army, and he was fucking cute as hell. His name was Joe Dolan, and he was fucking fine as fucking fuck. He was married, but he got divorced, and his ex-wife cheated on him. And I was like, nigga, you know, I like you. And he was in Afghanistan, and we was video called and stuff like that. And they, I don't know, I guess they had us not be together because, like I said, this is how the program works, you know. And then there was a guy who was supposed to take me to the Hamptons because there was this fucking there was a website called, I think it was sugardaddy.com or GoDaddy.com or something like that. And there was a website where you could put your profile as a girl, and rich niggas from all around the world pay for your motherfucking flight to fly you out. And, you know, of course, you know you ain't gonna fuck. But it was like, you know, it was like Tinder, but for sugar daddies. And I met this guy on there, and he was gonna fly me out to the Hamptons, bitch, and had my itinerary, everything. Bitch, I had bought me clothes, everything. And I think I even requested the days off work. And I think 2 days before he ditched me. And he was very scared on the call. Like the message that he sent me, you know, he was like, oh, I can't go to the Hamptons. I have to focus on some things right now. Sorry, bye. You know, it was like a very scared message, you know. He was told not to speak to me or whatever. And then there was this guy named Bill. Bill was a black guy. He had been in an interracial relationship before, but they got divorced. They had 2 children, twin daughters. And me and him, you know, we're talking for a really long time, and I really like Bill. Bill was from Texas. And, you know, Bill was fucking loaded, bro. And I was supposed to fly out there, but the thing was they made it that I could never go. And even when I could, he would kind of like ditch me. So, like, I kind of like stopped talking to him. And every fucking couple years, this nigga reach out, hey, stranger. I'm like, bitch, I'm block your ass, bro. You know? That's the pattern. They were trying to tear up my fucking self-esteem. When I say tear up, these people tried so fucking hard. Like, you know how hard? They bitches is pressed. Bitch, you know, they always be doing, they all try to say I'm ugly. Like, why do you care if I'm ugly or not? Is you fucking me? Is you fucking me? You ain't fucking me. So if you ain't putting your dick in my pussy and you ain't eating it, why the fuck you care what I look like? You know what I'm saying? So these people have been trying to, that's the one pattern. Every time this happened, they always tried to tear down my self-esteem so they could kind of like make me go for a lower level, lower tier man, you know? Trust me, I know the pattern. Because it had happened so many times that I could now put the pieces of the puzzle together. When you ain't got all the pieces, it's an incomplete picture. But I done figured everything out. So like I said, they always, you know, said the guy, okay, let me show you another story. Okay, so when I was at the hotel, I dated this guy named Fanny. Fanny was a very nice guy, had a business and everything. We were dating, and I believed I liked him, but the problem was, one, he was gang stalking me, and they had him tell me that I was fat, you know? And the guy just was like very displeased with everything that I did, you know? And it was so hard to please him. Plus, he couldn't have kids, and he didn't want any more kids. So, and then they had him leave me for another black girl, and he didn't even tell me. He just ditched me. Like I said, they always ditch you, and I needed him for something. I was looking for an apartment, and that same apartment that I was looking for I actually got. But I was gonna look at it and ask him for a ride there. And when I noticed like 30 minutes had passed, he stopped answering his phone and shit. When I saw he stopped answering his phone and shit, and that, you know, he was kind of like just egging me, after 30 minutes, I decided to catch the bus, and then I walked in. Like I said, eventually I moved to that apartment. But that guy, like I said, he tried to trash my self-esteem, you know. Then they sent this guy who worked for Sherwin-Williams, and Sherwin-Williams is definitely gang stalking. He had a lot of STDs, and, you know, he cheated on me with some 17-year-old girl, and he was just a whore, and he kept giving me STDs over and over and over, and, like, every guy that I ever met, there was one guy from New York when I was living in downtown, and the guy from New York, you know, was a gang stalker. And, you know, I remember we kind of like had sex, This is all during the time when I divorced my first, and I'm living in a hotel, and it was in downtown. Me and this guy met up, we had sex, and he like was in this really nice area in City Place. And when I like we had a little misunderstanding, and he called me like many months later, and I had kind of like lost some weight, and he was like, "Wow, you look a lot better," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And he, you know, we fucked, but like, yeah, I had got a place. I was living in a hotel to living in a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Like, you should be happy for me. You say, "Bitch, you ain't got no TV in here, bitch. Let's go to the motherfucking Walmart, ho. Put your pussy lip on live. I'll give you $1,000." But he was not like that. He was just like we fucked, and he fucked the shit out of me. And the whole time he was like, "Huh, bitch? You didn't come here, bitch." She was like, "Oh yeah, the guy you were fucking, or the guys you were fucking, were they better than me?" And I'm just like, "How do you know that I was fucking anybody?" But he knew because he's a gang stalker. So that's how I know that they watch everything that we do, because he didn't speak like, "Oh, you probably might have been fucking other niggas." He spoke like, "I know it." And when I say that shit always stuck with me, every couple of years I'd just be like, how the fuck did he know that I was fucking other niggas? You know? And then there, like, the whole point is that during that stage, they forced me, because I helped my friends, into the gang stalking. I had to be a hooker. They gave me the problem and made those fucking crackheads gang stalk me. And then they gave me the solution as well. They're gonna beat down my fucking self-esteem to the fucking ground. So you're gonna accept anything, you know? You don't need to have some, you know, whatever you want. You're gonna get what we give y'all, bitch. Because that's the society we live in. You gotta follow the rules. So this guy was a gang stalker. And I remember going to Walmart one day with this nigga, and he did this weird ass hand signal and head signal to this white man. And I was like, "What was that?" And he's like, "It was nothing." And I was like, and he, like, the way he said it was nothing the second time, it was like, "Don't you fucking ask no more, because I'm the man and I'm the authoritative figure." So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna ask no more. But I took a mental picture, because, like, that was a very strange moment. I remember seeing him do some sort of, you know, weird signal to the man, and the man was like, you know, and I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, I saw it with my own 2 eyes, you know? Just because you tell me it's nothing don't mean I'm gonna believe. And the guy was a gang stalker, child molester, cheater, all types of shit. And here I am now. And in the beginning of this, they tried to do the same fucking thing to me. They tried to send me guys to rescue me. But it's never some handsome guy, you know? It's always some fucking old fucking fart. No fucking offense. I do like older guys. Or I did, but I don't like older guys anymore, because this guy, after what he did, it left a very bad taste in my mouth for older guys. Like, I thought dating an older guy would be an advantage, because one, he's more established, he has wisdom, he done learned from his youth of being a dumb motherfucker. When you get older, he's more, you know, smarter, more wiser. But this nigga was dumb as fucking fuck. Nigga, you a motherfucking pagan, and then you a child molesting ass nigga, and you a sexual deviant. Like, bro, that's the biggest L I ever took. But that's alright, you feel me? You could lose or you could learn. And right now I'm learning. So, in the beginning of this whole thing, they did the same situation. Just like the last time. The last ex happened to be a gang stalker and worked for the county. Happened to know the judge. Had an order. Got me kicked out the house. And then in divorce, I got nothing. Same motherfucking pattern. That's why I stay away from men, because, like I said, I done been through this pattern so many times. It might look good, but I already know what the end result is, and I ain't trying to do it no more, bitch. It's a pattern. Any nigga that comes to you, no matter what, is them who sent the nigga to you, unless he, by some miracle of God, is not a fucking gang stalker and has no affiliation with that kind of shit. But I don't even know. But the whole point is, that happens, and I dated many guys. I mean, I dated one guy. Like I said, one guy was very cute. This time around, they stepped the game up, bitch. I could tell I was elevated. You feel me? Because the gang stalk is the worst it's ever been. Because I've been gang stalked many times. Because I can remember during every one of those situations, there was always a incident where I was somebody like did something, cut me off to the point where I almost crashed my car, and I had to follow the person to where they was and was like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing, ho? You almost killed me, ho. Bitch, you gotta fight. We didn't fight, but bitch, I cussed their ass out. But the whole point was, during all those times, I was gang stalked, I was workplace mob, and there was the crazy drivers during every one of those times. And I just, like I said, because I don't know. The thing is, everything was in my face, but because I didn't have consciousness, I could never figure it out. Because like I said, I've been gang stalked so many times that now I could put the pieces of the puzzle to see everything, clearly. They set me up with different people. Like I said, this time around, they really came with a motherfucking A game. But the thing was, the one guy that they was trying to really make me go with, his name was Andy. Andy was fat. And I ain't got nothing wrong with no fat nigga. But I don't want to date no more fat niggas. I'm just saying. No shade. I mean, you have muscle, that's good, but I don't want no fats. It's not discrimination. It's everybody got their preference. You understand? I got mine, you got yours. And he had beautiful blue eyes, but he was bald. And I don't want no bald nigga. Sorry. But, you gotta be thinking about genetics. If you have children, if your nigga bald, bitch, your kid's gonna be bald too. Because everything is genetics. So you're not making a strong fucking child by fucking having kids with a bald nigga. Because when your kid fucking 30, you're gonna be bald. You have children with a man with hair. So when your child is fucking 80, this thing got a full fucking head of hair. That's how you do it. The guy was bald. The guy was fat. The guy was a freak. He wanted me to dress in very short fucking clothing and go out in public so men could look at me and he gets jealous and fuck me angrily. I was freaked out by that and I stopped talking to him because it kind of freaked me out. And then he kept trying to hurt me. Like I said, that's what they do. They try to hurt your self-esteem so that you can accept a piece of trash. He kind of like was telling me that he was seeing other girls and they were having sex and me and him were like talking. And he was trying to hurt me so that I could feel like, oh, I could be just as good as them. But I was like kind of like turned off, so I kind of like stopped talking to him. A little bit after that, he got promotion. That's another pattern I noticed. Every guy that ever talks to me, it don't matter if we date or we just talk. Right afterwards, they get a promotion on a job or some shit, or they get a new car or something new that didn't happen before. It happens to them. They got a payment for just even talking to me. And that is a pattern. Because when I say every guy, every single fucking guy. I mean, they gave me every kind. They gave me some guys that were contractors. A lot of them were contractors. They gave me some that were rich and had long money, but like, I don't know. When you're conscious, well, I'm speaking for me. Me as a conscious female, money don't impress me because, you know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers, when you think money is everything, like, they be shallow. Like, you can't even have a really deep conversation with them. You gotta keep it at a basic level. Talk about fucking stupid shit like cars and hoes and money and yachts and boats. And that stuff bores me. I'm just like, oh God, can we just go somewhere else now? So they, kind of like introduced me to people like that, but I wasn't feeling it being a conscious female. I was trying to choose differently. And like I said, the situation the first time, right? The first time I was staying at my aunt's house and I had to leave because she was kind of violent against me. Second time, I was staying with my ex and then he went to the courts and got me kicked out. Then there was with my current ex, with the child molester. And then I was staying at hotels. In every hotel, it was 2 hotels I stayed at. That's because, like I said, I work. I could stay at a hotel right now. Because that's what a lot of people probably be watching my videos saying, bitch, you got a job. Why you don't stay at no hotel? Because I tried that twice. And they kicked me out of both of them hotels. And I'm not finna be out here putting no money in the economy, putting money in the hotel to circulate the economy. And that's how y'all treat y'all customers. And a lot of them, almost all hotels and motels gang stalk. So because of that reason, I felt like, you know what I mean? What's the purpose of You know what I mean? Me even doing that. So just fuck it. So, okay, the hotel. So they got me kicked out the hotels. That's a pattern they've been doing for a long time. And, you know, they just tried to, they workplace mob me. Before, the workplace mobbing, it's always been a workplace mobbing. When I say always. The problem is, well, there's not a problem. And there's always kind of been some sort of sexual harassment. Because I had, like I said in the beginning, when I was 21, I had lost a lot of weight and I was fucking, you know, in my prime. And they, you know, they feel entitled to you as a person, you know, like jealous. You know, if you, like I said in the video, a few videos back, I had got my, you know, lashes done, and that's when I noticed the guy at the park tried to like physically assault me. And a while back, I got in an altercation with a young lady at the park that they set this gang stalking fight up, and it was recording and all types of shit. Sent me up with the police, and I had just did my hair in blonde hair. These people so hateful that they don't even like me to have blonde hair. You know that? That's why bitch will never join this shit. I like freedom. Even just wearing blonde hair is a fucking rebellion against these people. And I know that's something that they don't like. When I was workplace mobbed at this job, it's called First Choice Credit Management. And when I was workplace mobbed, like I said, I had helped my friend. And when I had helped her, because I helped her, they workplace mobbed me. And they even did that to me. Right now, I have a cousin who usually helped me out financially, and they got her fired at her job. The first time they got her husband fired, and then when he finally got a job, they got her fired. And when I saw they kept doing that to her, I said, you know what? If she could fucking, you know, do it, I'm going to try to do it. I don't want to work, but like, you know what I mean? Me asking her for help is putting her in danger. So let me just, you know, try to see if I could, you know, I don't want to work, but I'm going to just suck it up and just go to work. Obviously, they're going to workplace mob because they've been doing it all the time. So at least you know what's going on and you know how to, you know. And it's just, you know, the patterns is, like I said, every one of you have to think, you have to sit down and really think about patterns. Think about everything that happened in your life and think about how many times did it happen and how many years between each other that it happened and what was the end result. Was it always the same? Whatever you see the pattern happens like more than like 3 times, that is a gang stalking. Especially throughout certain periods, like, you know, you have 3 girlfriends that cheat on you with your best friend, or 3 boyfriends that cheat on you with your sister. That's gang stalking. They've been orchestrating that. They've been orchestrating guys that would be attracted to your sister. You understand what I'm saying? So they could purposely do that to hurt your self-esteem and make you hate this person. That's what they do. They orchestrate everything down to the last fucking letter. And they feel entitled to everything that you are as a person. You're a person. You're a human being. You're fucking soul and spirit. You know? And they have to tear you down. When I heard the girl journey, she said they always try to say that I'm ugly, but I'm not. And the girl ain't ugly at all. A lot of bitches is fake and fucking jealous, envious hoes, and they'll try to say something about some bitch, but I'm not one of them hoes. I'm a real ass bitch, and that girl pretty as fucking fuck. And if I was a lesbo bitch, I'd eat the box, but I'm not. But I mean, whatever's good for you is all good. I know you buy a thing. But the whole point is, she's a beautiful girl, and they always tell her she's ugly. They do the same thing to me. She's beautiful as fuck, and they tell a beautiful as fuck girl she's ugly. They trying to, every targeted individual, they're trying to put your self-esteem down so they could put you with who they want to mate you with. Like I said, even her, she has the same pattern herself. She said it. They always bring certain guys around her. They won't let her have an established life unless she chooses to date one of the gang stalkers. The only way you can establish anything is if you have a gang stalker husband. That is the way the society is ran. Some people, I don't know. Some people, unfortunately, you don't even have the chance to do that because them motherfuckers just, I don't even know. Probably different level of gang stalking. But the whole point is, there's a pattern to all of our gang stalking. You need to look at your lives, really sit down and make this whole pattern up, and you will put the pieces of the puzzle together just like I did. Stop being afraid that you're being gang stalked. Motherfucker, we've been gang stalked for years now. We already used to all the tactics. Now what? Now what's the strategy, bitch? We need to stop this fucking thing. You know what I mean? What's the pattern that they've been doing with your life? And you can alter it. You understand? Everything is probability. Like I said, these motherfuckers ain't got no power. They just be faking it. They got probability. Probability is math. The chances of something happening. It's like gambling, bitch. If you fucking know how to count cards, bitch, you could be in the casino cleaning up bitches out. And that's what they doing. They counting cards. They have probability, and that's it. They don't know how to motherfucking read no motherfucking mind. Excuse me. Like they say. And then they've been seeing a lot of, like I said, they've been seeing a lot of guys. During this whole time that I haven't been talking, I've talked to a lot of guys who happen to be gang stalkers. One gang stalker literally followed me. Like, I met him, and he told me he was staying at a hotel. He told me he was going to call me so we can hang out. Okay, no problem. This nigga did not call me. He just showed up where I was, and I saw him about 2 or 3 times. 3 different times. That's, for a guy, that's very strange. And then he's married at that. Excuse me. If he was like a single guy, okay, but you're a married ass nigga with kids, what the fuck is you stalking me for, bitch? You better go stalk your motherfucking wife. Then, and that's how I met him. I asked him for a ride so I could go to the auto parts store. And it wasn't free. Nigga, I had to pay. Ain't no nigga finna get no pussy for me and I gotta pay you for no ride. Just so you know. You can ride this dick. Then, they had this fucking guy. This guy be big time gang stalking my ass. He came to help me. He was alright. You know, he was a gang stalker, but he was okay. Oh my god, they had this one guy, girl, bitch, let me tell you, they had this one white guy, he was cute. He was cute. He was cute! I was just, you know, minding my business, doing my truck, and he just rolled by. I think he had like a, I don't know, remember the color of his car, but he was cute, and he asked me, you know, if I needed help. He was like, excuse me, ma'am, do you need any help? And I was like, no, I'm okay, I got it, thanks. He was like, okay, no problem, and he left, but he was like really cute. And then eventually, I did ended up needing a fucking ride because I was missing a fucking part. So, you know, I really regretted that I didn't get a ride from him because one, he was cute, and it could have been a really good conversation. Like I said, I like to talk to people. I've been talking to the gang stalkers, cause bitch, you know, I'm targeting you, motherfucking gang stalking ass nigga that's cursed, bitch. We all aware of each other. We might as well get acquainted. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. We here. Y'all like to be fake, bitch. I be fake too. Hey, how you doing? Yes. I like to be like, when I be going places, I be like, hi, gang stalker. I be like, all right, bye, have a good day, gang stalker. Like, I just throw the gang stalker slightly in there, you know what I mean? And they all, you know, go like this. So it's so funny. But the whole point is there's patterns in our gang stalking. We need to really sit down and look at the patterns so you can figure out what is going on, why you're being gang stalked, you know, who was responsible for it. You know what I mean? You can figure out so many things, but you got to really sit down. And then, like I said, as far as talking all that stuff loud, or maybe even having your phone on all the time, that's not a good idea because they're watching you through your phone. They don't watch you through nothing else. They do be putting cameras in your house and shit like that sometimes, but if there's cameras in your house, all you got to do is turn off your phone and like do certain little shit that they don't know, and they turn your phone on. And if they know what you did when the phone was off, then there is cameras in your house. Because they're the kind of people they want you to know. They want you to feel some sort of fear. That's why they let you know that they know. So if you want to know what they know, you got to do little sneaky shit like that. You feel me? Have a good day.